So I managed to get a PB the other night on Annihilation mode, and I was recording. I figured I'd put a voiceover over it and talk about it because it was a pretty crazy run. I was doing a salvo build, Architect Mine salvo build, and I remember having a lot of close calls. I took a few risky mods. So I kind of wanted to watch it back, and I figured I'd talk over it while doing so, because I'll probably upload it. I think at this point, yeah, I had died a couple times. I couldn't remember if I restarted the recording or not. Clearly I didn't. I couldn't get a run going. Could not get a run going. The early game of Annihilation's usually pretty tough. Usually tough to get started, but I tend to play a bit riskier than I should in the early game, just to play more quickly, because it can get a little tedious, but watching back, I feel like I should just be careful, because dying in the first couple thousand points over and over again is probably a bit more tedious than just slowing down and playing a bit more carefully. But oh yeah, this is definitely the run. Yeah, I got mines right away. I remember I got really lucky in some regards, and I also got really unlucky in other regards, and you'll probably see what I mean later. At this point, I didn't think I was going to be taking Minefield, but I think I do end up grabbing Minefield later. Yeah, improve thrust. The loaded mines right away. I think I ended up getting Warp Strike super early. Yeah, there's velocity. I think I ended up with Warp Strike before I took Splinter, even. Yep, there's Snipe. Streamline. I've been taking Streamline instead of Deadly Wake, which I used to take on the route to Blink, because I would generally pair burn damage with this build. I would generally go for Incendiary Strike, Candescence, and take a Solar Heart, but I was actually recommended by somebody on the Nova Drift Discord to skip all of that stuff and instead just try to go for Heavy Caliber and other weapon mods like Fusillade. That would actually help. Fusillade and Volley gives the mines a lot more projectiles. See here, I'm just being greedy. Yeah, there's Warp Strike. before Station Omega. That might be the earliest I've gotten it. I'm just being really greedy here. Letting my mines do the work. I have 300 missiles in reserve. I wanted to save it for Station Omega. I think I almost died here. Just being super greedy. Yep, there's volley. Elegant construction. All of the stuff that you really need to start this build, I got super early. It was really lucky. Would I take efficiency? Yeah. So we're on our way to getting Gemini Protocol and Essence Sap, which is huge for survivability with this build. Oh, you know, I should have taken stabilization there. I think I ended up, well, that's one of the things you'll see later. I ended up taking both Leaf on the Wind super mod, and then also, God, what's the super mod that, what's it called? The one that removes your collision with enemies and the hazards. I forget what that's called, but I ended up taking that as well, which I think made a huge impact. I think I'll probably be taking that every time. I'll probably go for strafe every time I do this build. I just took magnitude. I think I was trying to go for charge shot next. Yeah, see, I took rampage. That was one of my first questionable decisions. Rampage is usually pretty good, but you'll see later, I ended up with more rampages than I think I wanted. Yep, there's Splinter, good. You see, I'm already, because of Streamline and Rampage, I'm already kinda all over the place here. I don't tend to use faster. I don't tend to go for the faster builds, so I'm still not very proficient at controlling an extremely fast ship. Always take the evolutionary niche. Always. Up taking skirmish. I ended up with Essence Sap a bit too late. I took Gemini Protocol a bit too early and ended up with Essence Sap a bit too late. I think that comes around pretty soon. I almost die because of that. Yeah, here I took yeah, you can see me hesitating. Quantum decoherence. I was hesitating on that, but we ended up with charge shot because of it. Focus fire, which will get us fusillade there. I think, yeah, I took that. Stabilization. Yeah, see, I was thinking about it. Well, oh no, I took heavy caliber there. Maybe I should have taken stabilization there. Looking back on this run, I was already kind of thinking about that super mod that removes collision with enemies and other hazards for 20% of your hull and your shields. Yeah, right there. Oh my god, I didn't notice how close I was to dying. I knew I was close, but wow. That was literally like 1 HP. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's incredible. Incredibly lucky there. There's charge mines. You can't really tell, but I just about shit my pants. I knew I was close to dying there. I had no clue it was as close as it actually was. Wow. Granted, this is still pretty early in the run, so it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. Again, I'm trying to stack up as many heavy calibers as I could. Oh right, at this point too, I was still deploying the mines. Right as I took charged mines, I had to deploy them manually, which I'm just used to them deploying automatically, because I usually either take minefield or what's the other one called? Mine specialist, the wild mod. But I hadn't gotten either of those yet, so I was deploying mines manually for a good couple dozen waves. I did end up taking both mine specialist and minefield at some point soon. There was terminate. I think it's still a while from now until I ended up with essence sap. Got bravado a little bit later than I usually like to. If you can get a very early bravado, it does actually make a difference. You do end up optimizing the amount of EXP you can get. Again, I think I talked about this in the last run that I posted to YouTube, but once you take bravado, since enemies are a higher chance to be elite or champions, they drop just a slight bit more EXP based on what spawns. It's just an overall slight boost to the amount of EXP you get. Yeah, I did take incendiary strike. See, I shot myself in the foot with the early quantum decoherence, because there were a lot of levels where oh, I think I take incendiary strike later. There were a lot of levels where I couldn't reroll, obviously, and just didn't have a lot of good choices. I think the regeneration helps, though. The shield regeneration, passive regeneration is pretty good. Yeah, there it is. Did I take it, though? Oh, I took that over increased hull. Interesting. That's probably the right play. Okay, another heavy caliber. I think at this point I was kind of begging for essence sap. I think I remembered being pretty worried going into Seraph without essence sap, and especially manually deploying my mines. I kind of felt a little all over the place, again, because I still had the rampage, so everything just felt hard to control. Controlling the ship and making sure I was activating the mines frequently enough and at the right times. I think I kind of, at this point, kind of felt like the run really wasn't going so well. Yeah, increased hull. I was just, I had no rerolls. I really didn't think I was getting good mod choices every level. Which, to be honest, looking back, the past couple levels really didn't give me the best choices at all. But in the long run, I'd say I got really lucky with this run. It all kind of, everything I did take ended up kind of working very well. Yeah, there's Mine Specialist. I felt very relieved grabbing that. I no longer had to worry about making sure I was deploying the mines. Yeah, just not great choices there. Not great choices. Aegis wasn't gonna do anything down on the bottom left because I was always thrusting because of the rampage. Yeah, you can see I just couldn't decide. Yeah, I think I was gonna go for Rupture. I don't think I ever ended up getting Rupture. I don't think I got Rupture by the end of this run. I can't remember. Which is a shame. I think I took Rupture and then, increased blast radius, and then one of these secondary mods on that tree, and then never got Rupture. Which, to be honest, probably didn't hurt that much. Oh, there's Essence Sap, nice. I was feeling a lot better at this point. I think Rupture would have gone a long way in the end, though. If I didn't I don't think I grabbed it. I could have ended up with it. I could be misremembering. This was a couple nights ago. I've only now just had time to sit down and rewatch it. Adrenal module, I think that's called. That's not bad. Oh yeah, I think that's when I was looking at the super mods there. I think that's when I started to decide I wanted that. God, I think I want to call it Apotheosis or something like that. The one that removes the hitbox, the collision. I took Incendiary Strike over Minefield. I know Minefield diminishes the amount of charge your mines end up getting because they explode quicker, but looking back, I can't tell if that was the right choice. I mean, Incendiary Strike is okay. And I think I do end up taking Minefield later, but not sure that was the right choice. Yeah, there I took Juggernaut there because I just wanted anything to slow down. Anything to slow my ship down a bit. Remove some of the thrust. I think at this point I was just I was hoping I could get either Leaf on the Wind or the other super mod I've been talking about. I was really kind of focused on getting one of those. Ooh, this was one of my mistakes. Yeah. So, what, the next 3 levels are only wild mods? And I took another Rampage. I'll probably do it again, though. With how successful this run was, if I can get better at controlling the ship and knowing which mods to take when, I think it was the right play. I think taking more Rampage is the right play. It's just it's a good DPS increase. But I was not prepared. It was not part of the plan when I went into this run. But we're coming up on wave 200 and the 1,000,000 point mark. Yeah. You can see my choices. No evolutionary niches, no heavy calibers. I would have taken a solar heart here too, to be honest. And then another Rampage staring at me. You can see how hesitant I am. So now we're really zooming. I can't remember if I had taken Kinetic Onslaught yet. Turn the game down. I don't know if that's been loud. I think that's probably been a little loud now that we're getting into the later game. Just turned the game down a bit. My apologies. Grandeur, that was good. Again, just not great choices. Not great choices. Yeah, here I am checking. Apotheosis, that's what it's called. Kinetic boost and strafe. That's exactly what I was looking for. Also Leaf on the Wind. Oh, I did take Kinetic Onslaught much earlier. You can see me looking for it here, I think. Yeah, I was. Or Kinetic Boost. I definitely was looking for that. This is when I decided, yeah, I took Absorption. Force Armor wasn't going to be that great if I was going to take Apotheosis. You know, if I could have traded anything, if I could have traded the less useful mods for anything in this run, I think Adaptive Armor. The armor stacks and core shielding. I would have loved those by the end of this run. I felt pretty safe here, though. We had good DPS. I knew what I was looking for. You can see that ship knocked me so far away, though, and just did so much damage. This is when I really knew I needed that super mod. There, I took Minefield there. I'm curious to see if that was the right choice. It's hard to tell sometimes if the faster mines is better than letting them charge up a bit with charged mines. Curious to see if I can notice a difference. I've always wondered that. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell, honestly. I don't know if I even noticed much of a difference. Yep, there we are, on our way, grabbing strafe. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I was begging for it at this point. Please, just take away my collision. I was so worried. Because at this point, what, we're like 1.5 million deep. I felt like we definitely had all the right tools to take this run deep, but I was just so fragile and so not under control of my movement, really. I need to use blink more. I need to just use it more. Yep, there's strafe. Sorry, I was grabbing a sip of water. Still trying to be a little greedy here. You notice I have like 800 missiles. But I was trying to save those for wave 300. I've lost a lot of runs at wave 300. But it doesn't look like I've come close to dying in a while. Oh, I was a little nervous there. I wasn't even really that close to dying. Oh, that's right, dude. That wave was brutal. 2 bulwarks like this. Yeah, you see, I got nervous. I got so nervous. That's exactly how I lost that last run I posted to YouTube. 2 of these guys at the same time. I got nervous and just fired everything I had. I probably could have survived watching it back. I probably could have survived, but it didn't really end up hurting me using my missiles there. It's probably the smart decision. Wave 300 actually ended up being pretty calm. It was a pretty friendly wave 300. Oh, there it is. There it is. This is the first time I had ever taken that super mod. This was my first game with that super mod. And already, just going through this wave, where these guys weren't bullying me around, I felt so much more comfortable. I remember just feeling so liberated from danger. This was kind of when I was hoping that this run would go a long way. And thankfully wave 300 didn't kick my ass. I think I accidentally clicked that. I think that was a finger slip. Because I was definitely not in any danger. I can't remember. It didn't end up mattering, but... Ooh, yikes, that wasn't that great. It was so nice not getting pelted by those hammerheads, though. I remember thinking that I'll definitely be taking Apotheosis with this build, and probably other builds in the future. Did I do it? Oh, okay. I thought I had taken Last Stand. I think I did end up with Last Stand. I can't remember. But yeah, I took Targeting. I don't think I ever ended up getting, what is it? Convalescence? Whatever. Oh no, Convergence. Convalescence. What the hell am I thinking? Convergence. I would have probably liked that. I think that just ends up increasing the amount of projectiles your mines send out. Again, kind of just took some wasted mods here. The increased blast radius, targeting there, the lack of rerolls ended up kind of catching up to me a bit, but I think the 5 extra levels made more of a difference. Oh, that was a little close. Wow, yikes. Yikes. That happened so quickly, I think I would have probably fired my missiles if I had known I was gonna get that close there. Yeah, see, I got nervous. I think I got nervous and just started firing them more frequently. Yep, definitely. I would have liked to Leaf on the Wind a lot sooner than that, looking back, but there was really nothing I could have done about it. Yep, definitely fired there. That's definitely the play. That is a rough wave. Even still came pretty close. I did not maneuver as well as I could have there. That was a little scary. About to cross the 3 million mark here. I think at this point I was thinking, oh, this could potentially be a PB. I think I was also thinking if there was anything I could do to make it to 4 million. Because I knew it was going pretty well, but this build, like, you can already see I'm running into a lot of danger, and yeah, just not getting great options. I think I ended up taking last stand here. Maybe I should have taken homing strike. I don't know. Does homing strike increase the amount of projectiles your mines deliver? Does it give your mines 2 more? I'm not sure. Yeah, I took last stand. Last stand is a meme. It's definitely a meme, but I mean, you know, it could be the difference between, you know, 3.9 million and 4 million. So I just decided, at this point, between all those other options, I felt like it was my best bet. It just definitely felt like I was missing something. Like this could have made it to 4 million. I wasn't confident about it though. I could have used blink there. Yeah, here I am. I'm just taking a break. I think I'm grabbing a sip of water or something. Or maybe that wasn't that pause. I remember I paused for a minute pretty soon here, just to kind of think what else I could do, what else I could look for, or if there was any other mod pathing I could take to end up with something that would make a big difference. Coming up on wave 400. I can't remember how far I ended up making it. Can't remember what wave I died on. At this point, I knew, like, I was definitely close to my PB. This was the best Annihilation run I've had, and I think my regular PB, Mayhem, not Annihilation PB, was like 3.4. So I knew this was close to being the best run I've ever had. What did we get here? Seraph and one of those other guys? That was really, that's a pretty gentle wave 400. So I was feeling pretty good here. Took regression just as a way to sort of re-roll. What did I take? What did I end up taking here? Did I take force armor? Maybe I should have taken burst fire. Honestly, yeah. I should have taken burst fire and just fired my weapon more. Emptied my reserves more. Probably what I should have done. I just wasn't thinking. That's again why I wanted to watch this back. I have not had a lot of experience just like playing in waves this late. You know, I've only had a handful of runs over 3 million. And no Annihilation runs this high. And I can't even remember exactly how I died, to be honest. Oh my god, hold on. Did I really do that? I did. Oh no. I should have blinked. Yeah. Wow. I should have blinked. I basically, I flew into just 2 or 3 of those bigger projectiles there. I could have blinked through them. Well, yeah, see, average damage, almost 12,000 DPS. 412. Yeah, that could have gone a bit further. Let's see. Hold on. I want to pause here. I would have traded if I could have done anything different. And again, I couldn't have because I didn't really have rerolls, but there I took increased blast radius and no other mods from that tree. And also what was it? Oh, I took targeting. I took targeting and no other mods from that tree. If I could have traded I would have taken adaptive armor. I feel like adaptive armor would have helped if we had taken the entire tree with core shielding. That would have made a big difference. Interesting run though. I thought it was very interesting. We took the quantum decoherence and ended up taking the 3 wild mods in a row and ended up with, what did we have, 3 rampages? That was definitely pretty interesting. It was the first run I took apotheosis. Pretty interesting run. Very, very interesting. See, I'm just sort of sitting back now. And yeah, that was my best run ever. My previous best Annihilation was 3.4. My previous best was 3.5. That was a pretty good run. I'm feel like I learned some stuff from watching it back. And I hope you enjoyed watching it, if you've stuck around this far. I'll probably be uploading more runs. And yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Anybody? And I will catch you in whatever I upload next. Have a good night.